What's up YouTube, this is Shuttleboy and I'm back with yet another video. Today's video, we're going to be doing a new episode of these retrospective reviews of Golf Wang sneakers that I own. In today's video, one of my favorite Golf Wang sneakers that I own actually, and it's probably one of your guys' favorites as well, and that is the Vans collaboration, the green with pink sole Golf Wang Vans. We're going to do a quick review and on feet of these, so let's get right into it, guys. Alright, what is there to say more about these sneakers, guys? This is one of those sneakers that if you're a Golf Wang fan, they pretty much speak for themselves. This is one of the most iconic things that Tyler's ever released as far as merchandise, as far as anything really. Aside from his music, I say this is pretty much right up there with the first clothing thing that anyone really sees when they get into Golf Wang. If you are a Golf Wang fan, you definitely have heard about these or seen these to some degree. Maybe not this exact colorway, but at least one of the collaborations of the Vans you know about. And I mean, rightfully so. I mean, this was a product of the time, but also it is pretty much a timeless classic. We all know how Tyler, his brand of Golf Wang, has always been known as something that was very colorful and fun. And while these shoes do reflect that in some sort of way, I guess we could all agree that this is pretty muted compared to a lot of that stuff. So I think as far as has time passed, has it aged well? I think it's aged really well because it went for that muted version of what Golf Wang was doing at the time. It shows that Golf Wang love, but it actually kind of did it in a classy way, for lack of a better term. But this is an awesome sneaker, guys. I don't really have to talk to you guys and like sell you on the shoe, because a lot of you guys out there, you just know that this is one of the most sought after sneakers if you're a Golf Wang fan. Now, I don't want to make this video about how these are just so much better than the Converse or anything like that. My personal opinion, I do have to say that I think the Golf Wang Vans in general are just a lot cooler than any of the Converse that have really come out for the most part. I just really love the details in this, and when you end up holding one of these in hand, if you own a pair, if you're out there viewing this and you own a pair of any of the Golf Wang Vans, I think we can all agree when you have a pair in hand, if you're one of those people, that it's just different. It's just definitely a different vibe altogether from any of the Converse happening. Yes, I know that makes a lot of sense considering it's such a different time period. Flower Boy time period versus the early days of Tyler are two totally different things, we all know. But not even that, that aside, just the way it's made, the details, it just feels a little bit more like a personal piece of Tyler compared to what Converse is. Converse feels a little bit more mainstream, a little bit more easy on the eyes for people, just easier for people to accept as a whole. While this is a little bit more like a cult classic kind of look to it. Just the detailing on this sneaker, I love the tongue tag, having the kill cat on there. Was such a cool thing. And the best thing about this sneaker, I gotta say, with all the Golf Wang Vans, the thing that just really made these shoes for me, and if this wasn't on the sneaker, I think it would bring it down a couple points if we were rating them. But having the Golf Wang stitched on the back and the box cutter logo, that was just so cool to me, and it always will be. That's just one of those things that just made these sneakers amazing, and I think a lot of you guys will agree as well, is seeing the Golf Wang on the back is just so cool and just really makes this something special. I don't even know how to explain it exactly other than that. But yeah, all the other details are great with this. The insole having the cats in it, you can actually see one has Golf Wang printed under it, which is really cool. Another awesome touch, which I'm not going to be able to show in this video here because my boxes are all in storage, but the box, the packaging is just really cool to these. Now, I would say that the Golf Le Fleur packaging isn't too bad either. The amount of effort they put in with the dust bag and the box for being a sneaker that's pretty widely available is pretty good. I will give them that. But I love the touches way more on the Vans box, seeing the cat on the liner of the box, the kill cat on the front of the box, being a drawer box. I love drawer boxes. But I mean, that was kind of something to expect with a Vans Syndicate collaboration. They just put a lot more effort into it compared to any other Vans. Lastly, I do want to talk about as well just how I got these, because I feel like it was a pretty interesting story, at least for me. This was a pickup I actually got from Grailed way back in the day. It was probably around 4 years ago. I remember seeing a listing on Grailed for, I can't remember how much, maybe I'll pop it up here if I find it, around $100, I believe, give or take some. And it was from a guy that, if you guys know on Grailed, you know how with reps, if you see somebody's never sold anything before, it's usually you're a little hesitant to really work with them. So I hit up this person. I offered a little bit less than whatever they were asking for, because I was like, if I'm really gonna make this risk, I want to make sure I'm getting a great deal on this. And I ended up talking to the person, and they were a totally normal, okay guy. They weren't trying to scam anyone or anything. They just needed the money and were trying to unload these shoes. And it worked out just so good for me, because what ended up happening is this person ended up living pretty close to me around the Illinois area. So we ended up meeting up at the mall, and I paid him on Grailed, but he ended up actually just giving me the shoes right then and there, so I didn't have to wait for shipping or anything. It was a really interesting situation though, because when I ended up getting these, he ended up giving me a bunch of hats and stuff with it. I'm not really sure why he did that. Other than maybe because I paid for shipping and he ended up just hand delivering them to me. That was a little odd, but I ended up giving all the hats away to friends of mine because I just did not like them at all, but my friends ended up enjoying them. And the other really weird thing about these is, you'll be able to see this in some B-roll shots here, is these sneakers, when I got them, just reeked. They reeked of weed. It was so bad. It really smelled bad. And I ended up doing a lot of things to these to end up making them smell good, like Febreze bottles, putting in those little shoe pellet balls in them for a really long time, putting 3 or 4 in each shoe. The laces themselves were just they looked pretty nasty, like there might have been stuff on them as well. So I ended up swapping them with the Supreme Checkerboard collab, which I actually ended up selling, just so I had a cleaner look. They're a little bit shorter than the originals, but I'm okay with that because I kind of like lacing them loose like that. But it was all in all just a really odd situation. I should have seen it coming, because I remember when it happened, he was messaging me while he was coming to the mall, and I was already there waiting for him. And I think he said, let me smoke one real quick and I'll come right in for you. So I should have known right then and there that this sneaker was going to be a little bit bad news as far as scent. But if you look up close, like I was saying, you will see that there's a little bit of a stain on the ankle, because I ended up Febrezing these like crazy, and I accidentally, because I did it a little too close, getting just the Febreze on there, so it ended up staining it a little bit because it was too much like liquid and chemical for this material. Another really weird thing that guy did, I believe, was he was selling, I believe, I don't remember the name of it, but it's the box logo with the cat eyes on it. He was selling that on Grailed. And literally when he shows up for this meetup, he's wearing the shirt he has on Grailed for sale right now to the meetup. It was just such an odd situation. He was a nice guy, but it was just really quirky and funny. And honestly, I look back at it as an awesome sneaker memory, because I always wanted to do meetups, but I kind of grew up in the time period where StockX is starting to become a thing. But all in all, I did end up cleaning these a ton, and they ended up looking really good. Right now, I would say the soles themselves look really nice. My only issue as far as condition though is that the suede, it just looks aged. It looks like it's been through some stuff. No big stains or anything other than what I just showed to you guys. But it just looks like it needs a little bit more life. It's not as bright as what you would see a brand new pair. But that's totally okay with me. Just the fact that I was able to get my hands on a pair of the Pink Sole collaboration, get it for such a great price, was so awesome. And I planned on wearing these anyway, so it wasn't a big deal to me as long as they looked genuinely nice in condition, so they didn't look like total beat up shoes when I wear them. That's all that really mattered to me. And honestly, I'm really happy with it. Let me know down below though, guys, what you think of this story of the sneakers. It was just really weird, and let me know what you think of this sneaker in general. I want to know your guys' thoughts on Golf Wang Vans down below. Usually it's pretty split. Newer fans tend to just say they like the Converse more, and older fans tend to just say they like the Vans more. But I want you to go a little bit deeper than that. If you're a newer fan, try to think about these more in a more positive light. And if you're an older fan, try to think of the Converse a little bit more in a positive light than you usually do. And yeah, that's all I gotta say for this video, guys. Please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, guys, and please subscribe if you haven't already for more Golf Wang, more sneakers, more clothing, more Shuttleboy. And this is Shuttleboy, guys, and I'm out, guys. Peace. In the description box below this video and in the comments section, I will link a Google Doc with a list of simple things you can do to help further the Black Lives Matter movement. There's petitions you can sign, text messages you can send, and even a place to donate to on the document. The most important thing is that you check your privilege, you listen to what the black community is saying to you, hear their stories and experiences, amplify their voices, vote, protest, call out your ignorant and or racist family members and friends, and be open to learning and being criticized.